All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Freezin for NFC North Podcast, episode 102, 2024, week one review and week two previews. Let's get it going. Once again, I am NFLOutdated, and you can find me on Twitter, on YouTube, on TikTok, the Freezin 4 pod. And I'm in the Vikings corner. Once again, we thought we were going to have some Vikings fans. We do not. But hey, I digress. They won too. We thought they were going to have something, but hey, we'll get to that very soon. The man, the myth, the legend, Trevor, you're back. Below me here, as you should be in the basement. Where can everyone find you as we get started?
You can follow me everywhere at RevTrevNFL, and I'm glad to be back, baby. I show up when we win. I show up when we lose. Just so you know, I'm a real man. I'm 40. No,
I love it. Love the energy. You always have great stuff. Everyone, even if you're not a Packer fan, like, subscribe, all this stuff. You're grinding it out. Love it. Obviously, don't always love your team. I don't love your team, but always love your stuff.
That's not true. Seventh, you love the Packers. Deep down inside, you keep talking about how good we are.
No. I respect it.
Speaking of how good he is, seventh letter, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at 7th letter 4 on Twitter X. You can find me there too. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, same OG, and sharing the top of the NFC North with the Vikings and the Bears at the moment, but things will change.
You're gonna go down, or what's
No. You go down, not me.
I don't know. So let's go ahead and week one review. Obviously, the Detroit Lions did beat those Rams. Give us a little bit of a recap of what happened. What had happened was with the Rams.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out
to helmet stickers too, right?
The Rams are tough, man. They're not. I know they lost Aaron Donald, but that's a tough team, and defense is relatively young, and I think that's why we were able to, take him into overtime. And it just so happened to be week one, and the defense was gassed by that point. But yeah, those Rams are tough. I don't think really nobody want to see them, because Matthew Stafford, if he had an offensive line at all, they probably would have cooked us pretty good, because the game plan they had dialed up for him and the details he knows in that offense, they are tough to beat. They are tough. And my boy's still good. 36 years old, still good.
He still got it. Trevor, yes, was there a doubt in your mind that the Lions would win this game?
You know what? I was getting nervous there for a few minutes, because I'm like, Cooper Kupp is a stud. And we all know that, but it's all this puka. It's like, you know what? You guys are not talking about the man. This guy is the dominant. What did he went in motion 30 times or something, or 130,000 times. I thought that was crazy. And the Kyron Williams thing, where he was the bell cow, literally a bell cow. I mean, Stafford always plays well against Detroit, but I was just like, oh, are we going to get – I was thinking about you, Seventh. I was thinking, oh, he's going to be mad if they lose. He's going to be mad if they lose. But you found a way, and that's what great teams do. They find
even when we play bad
to win.
Yeah, when you play bad, that means you might be all right. You might got something there. So
maybe the Bears are going to be the same way. They found a way to win too. So we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know about that. We'll get to there, yo. They ain't look good to me. I'm sorry.
That was a layup. That was I threw you a little thing.
They looked spectacular. What are you talking about? My Bears look spectacular.
The defense looked okay. Totally. They can't stop the run, though.
Hey.
I know what that's like.
And well, let's get it right into it, and then we'll get into the lowly other teams in the division. But all right, so Bears win.
The Vikings who aren't here.
24-17 week one versus the Titans. I was worried. I was worried in the second half, so much so that I did have to turn on some Netflix and chill away from my team for a little bit. And I came back when I saw, hey, we have a hope. So yeah, it was not a good Sunday for a little bit. I do admit I did take a step back and just kind of let things kind of roll for a little bit. And then, hey, my defense, here's the thing. When you look at the Chicago Bears, they've always been known for defense, right? And I told you this Bears defense is legit, right? I told you, and they baited Will Levis into just an ugly pass and intercepted. Ugly.
That wasn't ugly. That was what was he doing? Like he just went like crazy for like even when he did the stupid ass whatever that was. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, listen, man. I told you, you can have all the wide receivers you want. If ain't nobody blocking, that shit don't matter at all. At all.
I agree. And here's the thing, though. When you look at matchups, the Titans are a really bad matchup for the Bears, just how strong the Titans' interior defensive line is. And I think when you look at the Titans, obviously they've got a young quarterback in Will Levis that makes a lot of mistakes. But that defense is, they're tough, especially up the middle in that interior defensive line. And it just was a bad matchup for the Bears. And when you look at it offensively, Caleb Williams' first game, still made some mistakes, right? But, still kind of, the game was not too big for him. He stayed in there, didn't have the gaudy stats, obviously didn't make 100 yards. Lots of plays he did leave out on the field. There's a lot of obviously improvement for Caleb Williams, but when you look at it, team got the win. And I've been told in this league, I've been told by many people on Twitter, that's what matters, right? And so he got the win. And a little bit of a side note, my former boo, Justin Fields, also got a win. So I gotta throw that.
So, that one wasn't as surprising.
It wasn't as surprising. So hey, and he may have this stranglehold on this starting job in Pittsburgh, which could mean path to a fourth round pick for the Bears. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited all around. It was nerve-wracking for sure. But when you look at it, the defense believed, and that's what you really need. I think they traded for the guy from Seattle, Darrell. I can't think his last name now, but he made an immediate impact. He's obviously not as good, with against the run. And obviously, I think you tweeted at me a few times, seventh letter during the game, that we can't stop the run. And so, but when it mattered, they got after it and they made plays. So I was excited about it. I mean, seventh letter. I mean, when you look at the Bears, you're scared. I know, aren't you?
No, not at all.
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. Wow. Not at all. I don't even think Trevor's scared either. I saw more Will Levis making mistakes than the Bears defense doing any, that's what I saw. I didn't see, it wasn't that you got a good defense. You got really good. Mm-hmm. Your DB room is really good. I give you that.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all won, 2 phases of the game. And Jamison Williams had 10 less yards than your whole offense. Told you he was coming. Didn't I tell you J-Mo was coming? Told you J-Mo was coming. Told you.
I picked him up in fantasy because of you. I'm loving life.
I told you he was coming, didn't I? I sure did. And then I tell you wasn't going to be able to run that ball against that big front that they got over there.
Just a reminder, we're supposed to be talking about the Bears right now.
I'm sorry. But then I tell you wasn't going to be able to run the ball. Didn't I say that? I said, no. They got a dude that's 260, and he was moving too, wasn't he? That big dog was moving. He was moving. I told you. I ain't going to be able to run the ball. So it's going to be Caleb Williams. He's going to have to win the game with his arm. And
hey.
He didn't do it.
Well, game
hey.
1, he didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it. And that's the thing. I think the difference, Justin Fields thought he had to do it. And maybe at times he did. The Bears defense, they're there. Now, Rome Odunze did get hurt. We're kind of week to week. We'll see kind of, his health. But as this team gets some steam, I mean, when you get an offense that can trust the defense, I mean, Caleb Williams, sky's the limit. So, yes, I wish they would have. I wish he would have got 100 yards. I wish it would have been a clean game from him. But you know what? Take a look at Mr. CJ Stroud's week 1 and last year. Take a look at his week 2. Week 2 was where he made the jump. And we'll talk a little bit about week 2 in a little bit. But, let's go ahead and, we'll save the most devastating stuff for last, Trevor. Here.
Can we talk about that just for a second? Because this week 2 crap that you just said. Because I'm just going to use the words of the immortal 7th letter. He better be good. He better be good, because if the plan is 92, 93 yards a week, oh man, it's going to be fun roasting the Bears. But you drafted him to throw 300. You drafted him to throw 300. So yes, I hope that week 2 is much better, because Andy, people have been waiting for this. They're waiting for this Caleb to fail, but I don't think he's going to fail. I think he's going to be fine. Okay. Hey, that rhymes. That's awesome. He's not going to fail. He's going to be fine. Okay. But I'm just saying, if he's less than mid, you're going to get an earful, my friend. I'm just saying.
Stroud,
I'm all ears. I got 2 ears.
Stroud had 242 passing yards his first game.
Okay. That's
hold up. Jordan Love? And he played the Ravens. What are you talking about? I can't fuck
maybe, just maybe, at the end of the 2024 season, the Titans defense is going to rival the Ravens. Who knows?
It could. It might be better than the 85 Bears, brother.
Hey, we don't know yet.
I'm just saying, if they make these offenses look like that, they were unbelievable. If you can score 2 touchdowns a game defensively, you're going to win a lot of games.
For sure.
Well, speaking of another team that has won convincingly and is on a Super Bowl track like my Bears, the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, they are a juggernaut now. Just demolishing the Giants. So, any helmet stickers on this? Since we don't have a Vikings person to gloat.
No, it was the Giants. They didn't look prepared at all. Like I don't know. Dayball's gonna get fired. And I live in the New York market. It's the one of the most. If you think Bears radio is hilarious, New York radio is I don't even listen to music on the way to work in the morning. I listen to Giants radio in the morning. Oh my God, I'm surprised we ain't find Daniel Jones floating in the Hudson River yet. I'm serious. Like they booed him walking out the game. You know what I mean? Like they want to put lock in now, week 1. They want to put him in now.
They should. They really should. I mean, it sucks that they spent so much money on Daniel Jones, but last year I heard someone was telling me who has a podcast that said Daniel Jones was going to be MVP. I said that was ridiculous.
Wow.
And he got offended by me, and it was a whole big deal in this fantasy league and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, I mean, you could say maybe you're thinking he's going to do good, but I mean, to say he's going to be MVP, I mean, that's crazy talk.
How long ago was that?
That was last year. So,
wow.
Yeah,
bro, They want to throw Tiki Barber out of New York for saying that Dak Prescott, that Daniel Jones is better than Dak Prescott. They want to throw Tiki Barber in the Hudson. So Tiki would be down there with him too in the Hudson River as well. Like, it's horrible. Horrible.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, and looking at quarterbacks, I mean, they're going to be up there probably in the draft. I mean, obviously, we talked about this, right, last week even previous weeks, that this was going to be the one really winnable game in the first few games of their season. So I mean, they won it, right? Now
the defense looked smothering. The defense looked good. The defense did look good. They had 5. Well, Daniel Jones has always been easy to sack. They sacked him 5 times. Like it's not really I can't measure, just like I can't really measure y'all, because like you did say, like I thought that Tennessee would be, even when we talked last week, I said Tennessee would be a little tougher than you think, because the defense, and y'all won't be able to run the arm, it'll be dependent upon a rookie's arm. And that's another bad matchup for the Giants. Like the Vikings are a little bit too aggressive up front for that offensive line. So it's not a good matchup for Daniel Jones either, because he stopped looking down the field after the second quarter. He wasn't even looking down the field no more. He was looking at the line, and they couldn't really protect. And it's pretty sad that, especially after what we saw Saquon do against the Packers, like, damn, y'all paid the wrong guy again. Y'all let Odell walk. You paid this sorry behind quarterback and let your best player go to your division rival. And they're going to be for another 3 years. It's crazy.
Well, speaking of crazy, no one wishes injury on their, or at least no one, in the right state of mind shouldn't, wish injury on even their opponents, best players. Packers did lose, week 1 versus the Eagles, which I called. I think it was, I said 34-27. It was, so pretty close. But obviously, Jordan Love with the injury. What are your thoughts on that as it unfolded and as you've kind of been working through it over this week, Trev?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really hard to watch just because, you make all these predictions and you say, at the end of the day, it's so fun to watch and like my team and this team, and it's all based on barring injury, right? So it really deflates the whole mood of the season. I went live right after with a friend of mine because I thought, like, I don't mind if we lose, but when you lose your quarterback, I find that I just can't. I don't know if I'm just not mature enough to handle it. But no, I mean, it's just so deflating.
It is.
So, and it's hard to watch. I mean, obviously we dodged a bullet here, and it's not season ending or career ending or anything like that. So I was encouraged. But at the end of the day, it's devastating to everything. Like, for example, this week, the Packers-Colts game is not on TV in my region. Why? There's no Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's just what happens. They don't think that people want to watch it. And I'm like, actually, there's a lot of storylines I want to see now as well. But it's little things that make a big difference, right? It's like now, even fantasy-wise, like, do I start Jaden Reed? I don't know. You know what I mean? I would love to start him because, but it's really sad to see your quarterback go down. I don't want Caleb Williams to get a season-ending injury. Jared Goff, it sucked that JJ McCarthy went down. I was one of the first people to tweet, I'm really sad to see him down, because that's not, you want to see them go head to head and see what they can do. And so that's a long way to say it sucked. It was awful. It just kills the momentum. The great news is he's only going to be out a couple weeks. Now they keep saying day to day. Come on. It's smokescreen, everyone. Just don't hit the clickbait. It's smokescreen. If he's back this week, it's crazy talk.
Yeah, but you don't want him to be injured even more, right? So. Yeah.
It's not wise to have him back. The problem is we've messed up on the quarterback situation behind Jordan Love. For some reason, they thought, hey, let's get 2 young guys behind him instead of a veteran quarterback. So they realized in preseason, we've messed up. These guys aren't good enough. Hey, I've got a great idea. Let's go to get a vet. Their definition of veteran and my definition is completely different. I wanted a vet that had success. I would have been. Why didn't you go get Tannehill? Why didn't you go get I mean, I would have went and knocked on Tom Brady's door. Why didn't you go get Joe Flacco? He's done something before. Oh, no, we're going to go get Willis. What are you talking about, Willis?
Malik.
The guy hasn't done jack squat in the NFL. And like, hey, I got a good idea. We're going to get him. The guy who's never thrown a passing touchdown. Why didn't you just go trade for Justin Fields? You could have just given a 6th-round pick. Now, Packers fans are going to lose their minds that I would say something like that. But it's a fact, Jack, that he's got passing touchdowns. We got half of Justin Fields. Oh, Andy, you're going to love this take. We got half of Justin Fields. We got a guy who can run the ball, but we don't have a guy who can throw a pass. Yay, let's go. I'm excited for Sunday.
Ooh, it's going to be rough next couple of weeks for you.
Oh, my goodness.
Tell you what, yeah.
In Dreamland.
Next week's game will be called The Picnic because him and Anthony Richardson is going to be throwing the ball to the other team a lot.
Which is fine.
Well, here's the thing, too. When you look at it, obviously this gives the opportunity to Malik Willis to maybe do something, right? And maybe this gives the opportunity when you look at the Packers, you have their wide receivers. You have, maybe this is a Josh Jacobs game. Maybe it's, you rely on him, all those things. But when you look at, this overall season, are you worried at all, Seventh Letter, about the Packers now or no?
Yeah. I mean,
you still are.
He only out for a couple weeks.
Right, but every week makes a difference. Like, what if
what I was seeing with him though in the game, like he was back to his 50% self again. But he's better. You could tell he's better because he's still like he'll throw an interception. Then the next drive he throws something deep to read. So he still misses from time to time, but
yeah,
he still look good. The one thing I was most impressed about, that pass rush looked kind of dangerous. And the way that they kept Jalen Hurts in that pocket and they would not let him out, they closed the doors on him. I think he ran the ball like 15 times, 33 yards, something like that. He couldn't do anything. So
they just couldn't stop Barkley.
Yeah, that's true too. And AJ Brown was giving it to Alexander. AJ Brown. That ain't really Alexander. Like, he's a good cornerback, but AJ Brown was giving it to him. But
don't you think that AJ Brown, he didn't even look great? It was Devontae Smith that looked awesome, and then AJ Brown has that one play, and then it saves everyone's fantasy week, and it's like, guys, he wasn't even good. AJ Brown was not good against the Packers. It's just he had one big catch, and it was a touchdown, and good for him. But that's it's hard to contain a guy with that much talent. But man, Devontae Smith looked awesome.
Because it was all on third down, it seemed like. Every time Devontae Smith caught a ball, it was third down. So it hurt a little more. It was a stick move.
And
he was the number one player in the country in his last year of college. So
he was good. Yeah.
Sure. He's good. He's good. But here's the thing. So the power rankings come out. The Packers are ahead of the Vikings and the Bears, which is wild, right? So they're saying like who they played and all that kind of stuff. And so they're saying strength of schedule, right? Basically, they kept us higher, even though we lost, which is wild in my opinion. Okay.
No, because y'all look good.
But if the Eagles actually are legit, which they look like it, then that makes sense. But who knows? Maybe they're bad too, and we just had two mediocre teams playing each other. But it looks like the Eagles are legit. I mean, they were number 1 seed.
Absolutely.
No, number 3 seed. No, I don't know. Whatever they were last year, they tanked at the end, right? So they have a lot of talent. And that Carter kid, what a draft pick! Wow. So I'm excited. I'm not excited. I'm interested to see what the Eagles do going forward. But the Pack, we had a lot of things going well. What drives me nuts is we can't stop the run. It's been decades. It's
well, I want to go back on Carter. I believe he got some, death threats or, from what happened online.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, obviously, injuries happen and it sucks. And we can't even fathom, just the speed of the game and how things happen. Now, there are some dirty players that do come.
Did you say?
Oh yeah, Ndamukong.
I miss you, Ndamukong. You can always come home, man. You just gotta take a peek.
But there are some dirty players. But hey, injuries happen. It sucks. But when you look at it, obviously, he's a solid player.
Oh, for sure.
So let's go into you talked. We previewed a little bit about that Packers game. Green Bay Packers versus Colts. I believe it's -2.5 for the Colts, over and under 41. I would venture to guess that this has changed from what it would have been with Jordan Love. So when you look at the Colts game, Trev, obviously you're still probably holding out hope that maybe the defense or something can kind of come through. What are your keys to this game?
Yeah, in all honesty, it's you gotta somehow key on the run, and it's got to be like whatever you did with Jalen Hurts. Don't worry about him. Like if Richardson wants to run, fine. You can't let Jonathan Taylor tear you apart because you gotta make contain Richardson, let him throw. That is the key. Now, the other key on the other side of the ball is like, you got to get Willis. Like, I don't know if you're going to do the same thing. Is it going to be like, act like you're Jalen Hurts, fake the handoff and run it yourself? I don't know what you got to do there, but you got to, can he throw 25 times and be effective? It's kind of like the same thing, except for you would much rather have Richardson. That throw last week, 70 yards, he slips and throws a cannon. Like that dot right to Pierce, that was insane. It's like I'm having nightmares going, that could happen to us. You know what I mean? The good news is we have McKinney back there, and I love that ball hawk play that he had and picked off Jalen Hurts. That was beautiful. And Jair Alexander, he's still good. He's still good. So I think that we've got better corners secondary, but we have to slow down Jonathan Taylor, or else it's just going to be another long night and we won't have the offense to hold up, because I don't think that the Colts have the Eagles offense. Like, I don't think they can put up the numbers that the Eagles can. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but if you can slow them down, we'll be in the game.
Seventh letter. I mean, if the Packers do go 0-2, I mean, do you think that everyone's going to be moving away from Wisconsin, or what's going to be happening? Like TV sales are going to go through the roof because all these broken TVs.
I am not. This is going to be like one of those games, man. It's going to be some very, very poor quarterback play. It's going to be two quarterbacks that hold the ball. Athletic guys, strong arm guys. And Anthony Richardson's last game looked like his college tape, where he'd have a flash play and the rest of it be a bunch of garbage. Like, yeah, he threw that, slipped and threw it off his back foot 60-something yards, but he went 9 for 19. You know what I mean? So the body of work is, he has these plays that you see. If he can, grow from that, he can be a pretty good quarterback. But his throwing motion is funny. I'm not a big fan of his. But it's gonna be a lot of interceptions in this game. It's gonna be some bad quarterbacks. It's gonna be like watching Lamar Jackson play. Like, I know people love him. He was an MVP, but he hold the ball too long. His receivers aren't bad. They're quick. They get open. He had Odell Beckham, who know how to get open, and he might be washed, but he still can get open. You know what I'm saying? And he holding the ball, and like look how he played. That's how it's gonna be. He just really good at it. Like Ben Roethlisberger, like hold on to the ball. Then it's playground ball. It's not football no more. It's the playground. You know what I mean? I just don't like these kind of quarterbacks, and I think the Packers are going to have a lot of sacks. They rushed the quarterback well. They won 30% of their pass rushes last week. That's crazy. And I don't know. I never was a Gary fan, and I guess because he's had injuries in the past where it took him out a little bit. But I know how he played against us when he played. He looked, with his hand in the ground, he looked much more aggressive. Much more aggressive. He looked really good last week. Josh Jacobs is going to have to bring like 3 pairs of sandals with him because they're going to rely on him a lot. Run that ball, run that ball. They paid you. They're going to get their money's worth out you this week, Mr. Jacobs. So get ready to have that ball 30 times because other than that, I don't see the pass game threatening them at all. So there's going to be a lot of people on the line of scrimmage. There's going to be a lot of sacks. There's going to be a lot of pressures. Stop the run, Trev. You should be good.
Yeah.
To be honest. The Colts are kind of, they like naggy. They like the Cardinals. They kind of naggy. They sorry, but they play tough. You know what I'm saying? They the same.
Not Matt Nagy though.
No, not that guy. Not the offensive coordinator for the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs.
The one that's riding Patrick Mahomes. That
okay.
one.
That's okay. He had Trubisky looking. He took Trubisky to the playoffs.
Shane Steichen took I don't know, was it Gardner Minshew and who else to the playoffs with this Colts team. So when you look at it, from the Packers side of things, I would be worried obviously about the offense because you need to continue to have sustained drives because when you look at the offense that has a player that hasn't been on the team very long, number one. But yeah, a player that has not had any success at all yet in the NFL. If they can't have some type of drive where they can sustain it, that's going to put a lot more pressure on the defense. The defenses get tired and you're going to have, Anthony Richardson, who's, shown that he can have more success. He's had, some great throws. They're going to, wear the Packers down. And, hey, if you can't get a pass rush, I mean, with my Bears, I knew it. If you can't get a pass rush, you can't get that going, sustain it through the whole game, and that means trouble. And for the Packers, so it's going to be interesting. But you're right, Trevor. No one really wants to watch this game. It really,
I do.
Yeah,
I can't. I got to go buy DAZN or NFL Sunday Ticket. Like, forget it.
Yeah.
But I don't blame people for not wanting to because, like, even Packers fans, I just made a video called "I'm Legit Worried."
Yeah,
and I was really I think, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I would feel better if Sean Clifford was our starting quarterback.
Oh.
And the reason why is because he knows the playbook. Yes, did he struggle? I would be way more confident walking into this game, and I'd be saying we're going to get a win if Sean Clifford is the quarterback. Now, I'm not saying I'm smarter than Matt LaFleur. I'm not saying I'm smarter than Goot. I'm just talking as a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get Malik Willis ready to go in 2.5 weeks.
Maybe they're looking at the Minnesota Vikings, model from last year, right? And you just throw a quarterback in there with Josh Dobbs, just someone who's going to have that success and just kind of, be able to come in and really, start eating just like Seven Letter here,
Gotta let it cook.
Brought his food and he's cooking. So we're going to see, let's go ahead and, what is your score for the game, Trev?
Oh man, I haven't predicted one yet, but I was just checking my channel, and there's a guy like this, a Packers fan. Of course, we're worried. He says, I'm worried we're going to go 0-4, and he said maybe 1-3, and that's a legitimate concern right now. But in saying that, I don't know if it's going to be as bad. Like, I feel like I'm preparing for, like, preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there going, okay, it's Matt LaFleur. Maybe he can figure something out. Maybe the scheme, like, okay, so maybe I know it's going to be a lot of Emmanuel Wilson, Josh Jacobs, but what about jet sweeps with Jaden Reed? What about, little dump off passes here and there, a slant? I think we can do that kind of stuff. Or he rolls out, tries to hit someone over the top. I think there's ways where I might just like, I'm too nervous, I'm too worried, I need to relax, where there's a possibility that we can win, but nobody's picking us. And rightfully so. Nobody should be picking the Green Bay Packers to win. I'm saying it's going to be a fat L, okay? But I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping I'm wrong. So I don't know what the score is going to be, but we only get 2.5 points.
Yeah.
I'm picking, if I'm not putting money on this game, just so you know, but if I'm putting money on this game, I'm picking the Colts because they're going to beat us by more than 2.5, right?
I think so. I'm picking, if I was, a bet man, I am not, but I would say the Colts are going to win 27-10. It's going to be hard to really get.
Wow.
Yeah. I just think it's going to be hard to get the offense going overall for the Packers. It might be close, but I see the Colts pulling away. Maybe it's like a 13-10 halftime lead or something like that. And the Colts pull away from there with a couple touchdowns later.
Okay. I'm going to go with you. Okay, Andy. If that happens, think about this. Maybe at halftime, they put in Sean Clifford. And then I'm happy.
Hey, put in the big red dog. Put in whoever you want, right? Put in Clifford, but put in whoever you want. Bring in Jay Cutler. Hey, put him in. All right, but it's not winning this game for the Packers. Obviously the Packers defense needs to show out, but it's just going to be interesting to see. How they do it. Seventh letter, what's your call for this game?
Speaking of bullshit quarterbacks, the Trubisky sighting. He's in the game.
Put him in.
Blowout.
Because they blowing out the Dolphins right now, the Bills. So.
Oh, he is. I'm not even. Oh, there you go.
And Trubisky's in. All right, man. This is going to be a terrible game. I think I'm going to go 17-17. It's going to be a tie.
A tie. Wow.
Yo, it's just going to – because I think that the Packers pass rush is going to – just the way they contain Jalen Hurts last week. Yeah. I think that they can do the same thing with Anthony Richardson. The pass rush, they got a good pass rush over there. That's one thing I know because the Eagles have a pretty good offensive line. Yeah. And they was kind of getting back there anytime they wanted to. Jalen Hurts was not comfortable. That's why he looked good, but he didn't look good actually. He didn't look good at all. Until Saquon Barkley looked good. And then Devontae Smith and AJ Brown on a couple plays.
Who threw the ball to them?
Yeah, but that was kind of like they both kind of had like the same kind of game. And I honestly, Jordan Love played better than Jalen Hurts. Didn't Jalen Hurts have like 2 interceptions? Was it 2?
Yep, it was 2.
Yeah, like
McKinney and Jair.
And so what you think Anthony Richardson gonna do? He threw a bad interception last week too. So I don't know. Yeah. I think when you got when it's poor quarterback play and they take away what he does well, if the Packers can take away his legs and make him just pass, he ain't a good passer. So the Packers could easily win this one.
Are you picking him?
Easily.
4 games with them. What's your next 4 games, Trevor?
Oh, dude, it's rough. Now, here's the cool thing. Next week, we're playing Tennessee, which, this is worst case scenario. We're going to have Willis. They know everything about Willis. Think about this. We got their kicker and their quarterback, and it's like they cannot be afraid, right? But if you have Sean Clifford in, I know I'm sounding like a broken record. You don't know what's going to happen. So I think at the end of the day, we got to go there. You can't. Maybe you can go get Joe Flacco. Maybe you're phoning him up. Maybe you're saying,
I think Joe Flacco's in Indianapolis.
Maybe I need to fly to Green Bay and pray over Jordan Love and just see like a miracle happen, because maybe that's what happens.
Trevor, I think who's out there still. Your guy, Jaron Hall. He's still out there, I believe.
Man, I'm just like, I know, like, desperate times call for desperate measures, but I don't even know if we'd do that.
Well, let's go ahead and so the Packers nemesis, the 49ers, face the Vikings. And since once again we do not have our Vikings representatives, hey, obviously shout out to Shelby. She had stuff that come up. That happens, obviously. But once again, Craig is not here, right? I don't know where he is. But hey, they won.
Like
somehow,
we all predicted that.
Somehow they beat the 49ers on a regular basis. They beat them last year. So
we know why. We know why. No Debo, no Trent Williams. That's what happened.
So and I think I'm mistaken on this -5.5. I need to check on that. I believe it. I believe it. The 49ers -5.5. So it's the 49ers. So when you look at week 2 for the Vikings, Trevor, what do you see as just a way that the Vikings can stay competitive in this game?
Well, I did post, if you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, you would see that I did a whole bunch of different posts. And one of the questions that I posted about the Vikings was, what if Sam Darnold is good enough? And if he is, then we're all wrong about the Vikings. Like, that's just a fact, right? But the thing is that we don't believe in Sam Darnold. And it was shocking to me how high the Vikings fans got over the win against the New York Giants. I was like, they were acting like they had won the Super Bowl. Oh, wait, they've never won before. They don't know what it's like. So if you think about it, like, it was insane. And I'm like, you guys, we all picked you to beat the crappy Giants. Like, we all did. Was there anyone that picked the Giants to win? Because I was going to pick the Giants, and then you guys talked me out of it. So I changed my mind. And on my predictions, I literally have the Giants losing to the Vikings, and then it's 7 straight losses I got. The Vikings are in trouble, baby. Hey, you're going for
tell Joseph that.
Oh my goodness, you could be drowned in your sorrows.
They
It's
can run
gonna
on
be
the
over.
Niners. Get the fuck out. Y'all can't run at all. Aaron Jones had a good game last week, but
hey, I think we're missing one key fact to this game. This could be a Sam Darnold revenge game. The 49ers gave up on him.
He's ass.
Riding in on his horse.
Stop it. Stop.
And he is going to help the Vikings run on the 49ers, right?
No. Andy, he's ass. He cheats. You know that.
Well, but this is the point. I think that's a great point you make. We believe that about him, right? But this is his opportunity to, this is why he got into the NFL, to play big games, to produce. This is why Malik Willis got into the NFL, because he wants to be relevant. He wants to play. There's something about an opportunity. I just don't believe in Sam Darnold's talent. I don't think he's the real deal. I think he is what he is. And I think that's what you're saying is, as these guys that come in and like I get that you're excited that you got one win. Hey, congratulations. We didn't, you did, okay? Congrats. At the end of the day, it's the 49ers. When I watched them the other night, I don't know about you guys, I was sitting there going, these guys could win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I think there's a lot of teams that have a chance right now, but when I watch them, I'm like, wow, man, they might even be better than last year.
Yo, they punked one of the best defenses in the NFL. Punked them.
Pick up Brock Purdy in fantasy football. Just go ahead and do it.
Dude, that's the thing. I'm like kicking myself going, why didn't I get him as my backup quarterback? Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, book it. You're going to win a fantasy championship with those two guys. I'm just saying.
28?
What?
In 2028, you're going to win a fantasy
No,
championship.
I'm talking about this year. Like, if that's because if you stacked up on all those other positions in fantasy and those are your two starting quarterbacks, I mean, you can't not be not happy about that. Now, Purdy didn't score. Did he even throw? Like, what was his stats? They weren't that great, were they?
I have to take a look here.
I don't think did he throw a touchdown? I don't, I mean, he kind of did a Caleb Williams moment, and then everyone's saying he's the next Tom Brady or something like that. I'm like, are you guys kidding me right now? It's like that team around him, Deebo Samuels, when he is healthy, he is a man on a mission. He's a beast, and he is so hard to take down. Look, guys, they had the backup running back in, and he looked like top 5 running back.
Hey, 49ers did face the Jets. Okay, so
they have a great defense.
Yes. The Vikings supposedly have a great defense or a good defense or something. I was told that they would do well this year on defensively. I mean, we'll see. But hey, the Vikings are not the Jets. So when you look at this game, Trevor, I don't know what your score is for this, but obviously 49ers should win this pretty easily. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would take the 5.5 and just feel like I just robbed the bank. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, okay, let's just compare the Jets to the Vikings. Mm-hmm. The Jets have a better quarterback, right? The Vikings have a better star receiver. Okay, we know JJ's better than Jared Wilson, but after that, it's like you got Lassard. Okay, Addison's hurt, right?
Again?
Yeah, dude. Addison, they're talking about both ankles are screwed up. Now, I think he's going to play, okay? And I like Addison a lot, but I love Aaron Jones. Breece Hall's better than Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So I think the Jets have a better defense than the Vikings do. So you think for one moment, come on, Vikings fans, one moment you actually think like it's going to be probably over in the first quarter. Because it's just going to be like, oh, it's close. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, gee. Oh, no. Oh, no. Like the second quarter, you're like, you might even have a little glimmer of hope after the first quarter, right? It might be 14-0. Like, we can come back. We can come back. And then it's going to get like 21-3. And then it's going to get like 28. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, my goodness, at halftime, we don't even have 10 points. You know what I mean? That's what it could be like.
So what's your score?
Is ferocious.
What's your score?
35-13.
Oh, okay.
49ers book it.
Seventh letter. Are you're on this train as well, right?
Yeah, it's 31-17. I think the 49ers will probably make this because I don't think I just don't think they have enough. I still don't believe in Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? He's in my Kirk Cousins book. And Kirk Cousins had way more success, but he's a bum too. And I've been told you he's a bum. So 2 bums back to back that can't win big games. You can have them. I don't want no Sam Darnold.
So here's a little bit of a poke. Aaron Jones was the best running back last year.
He was. I watched every game. I watched every snap. I would not have said that.
They should have paid him.
I wasn't saying that last year.
I didn't say that last year.
Joseph ain't say that last year.
There's a difference. Just so you know, there's a difference. Playing with the Packers and playing with the Vikings, there's a difference.
Yeah,
dude, it's a difference. I'm telling you, they know how to run. Now, Aaron Jones is a very talented running back. I think he could be an X factor in this game. He could mess it up. But, man, he played with us against the 49ers, and we still lost.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So I'm saying 37-7 49ers.
We are
just going to be
them.
A blowout.
I mean, I guess we're saying that because they didn't show up either. So sorry, Joseph. Sorry, who is this? Ali? I don't even know how to say that.
Yeah. So I definitely appreciate them tuning in. I mean, it's gotta. I mean, we talked about this Shelby last week. I mean, you just have to, as a Viking fan, you just have to be honest. This is where you are this season. And maybe you continue to lose, but then you get a top draft pick or trade it for something. Who knows? But this is just where you just need to rebuild. That's what it is. So speaking of it is what it is. Team wise, going to probably continue the dominance. Interesting matchup here versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So 7th letter, we look at the Detroit Lions. I mean, minus 7.5 versus the fighting Baker Mayfields.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't like Baker Mayfield either. He's another bomb.
7.5 is a lot.
We're going to beat the shit out of the Bucks. Period.
You think so?
The Bucks have a better offense than
No, it doesn't matter. It don't matter.
Okay.
Who's throwing?
Baker's good.
I got good corners now. So it's whatever. Matthew Stafford was getting that ball out in a second last week. So it was hard to really see what we got. You know what I mean? And Baker Mayfield is no Matthew Stafford. So, DJ Reader plays this week. I think Iffy Melifonwu plays this week. So it's gonna be fun. I think I think 7.5 is a lot because the Buccaneers play with a lot of pride. So I don't think it'll be easy at all because they got a good defense. Tua is hurt again, and he got his arms like this again.
Oh no!
Oh, get him out the league, yo!
Did he get hurt again?
He did this again.
That might be it.
Get him out of here, yo.
I don't even want to know.
Bad for him.
Get him out of here, yo.
Oh yeah. The game's over anyway. Yeah. So, are you rewatching it?
No. It's over now. But I didn't see how when Tua got hurt. I just saw the backup in because it was a blowout.
He did the same thing. Oh yeah.
His arms did this again.
So back to this game though, 7th.
My bad, yo. My bad.
I'm thinking
7.5 is a lot. We're gonna win.
I appreciate your passion. But I think the Bucks are better than you're giving them credit for, brother. Because I think, I don't know if you're like this, so just tell me if you're like this. But I feel like most of the league, when they think Baker Mayfield, they think of the other guy, Johnny Manziel. Ooh. They keep thinking about Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel and Baker Mayfield are two different players. And I know that you're not comparing those two guys. But what they do is they write off Baker Mayfield. Let me tell you something, my friend. The Browns never got rid of Dorsey and Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. That was the two biggest mistakes they've made in the last 30 years. And if you think about it, because Dorsey's now in Chicago or Detroit, right?
Yeah. He's on the staff.
Dorsey's in Detroit. And that, another reason why you guys are having success, right? But don't you think that this offense and this defense is much better than, it's not going to be a cakewalk. I would be picking.
Let me preface it. I don't think I painted the full picture for you.
Okay.
All right. So they're very injured. Okay. So they're CB2 is hurt. CB3 is hurt. Cansey's hurt. Will Golson was on the injury report. So and they don't really rush the passer good. It's nada, and they got good linebackers, and they play sideline to sideline good. They lost one to the Eagles, so it's like I understand what you're saying, but they also played the Commanders as well. So the Commanders are just like the Giants, and it's crazy. The Commanders are going to lose to the Giants this week because they always do. You ever look at Washington Commanders and Giants games? This be the only games the Giants win. They tie or win. One of the two. I think that if they were at full strength, yes, it would be more competitive. But they hurt at cornerback. And you saw what my boy did last week. So they're going to try to take him away in this Amon-Ra season. And not only that, Carlton Davis is on my team. He's been playing with them dudes for 6-7 years.
How well did Amon-Ra do last week? Did he do all right?
He had 13, and he had 13 yards. He's gonna have 100 in 13.
And they won.
Huh?
That's the wild thing.
If you look at the game, they was using a robber the whole time. Jared Goff's scary. He ain't gonna throw that. Like when he finally did, he threw a pick. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he tried to fit it in, they threw a pick. They had a robber all game there. So they took Laporta and him out the game. That's why J-Mo was getting those across the field. You know what I'm saying? I knew what was happening. They was going to take him away. So they got to probably use the outside a little more. Put Amon-Ra on the outside and let him. He'll play much better this week because they're injured over there.
So when you look at it, Baker Mayfield did throw 4 touchdowns on 289 yards. But when you look at the Commanders, I don't even know. Basically, they traded away their
Justin Fields had his best game of his life against those same Commanders.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's a bum.
No, don't do it. Don't.
He is. We see him on another team. He was a bum there too.
I know, but I would take him right over Willis.
Come on. I'll take him over Malik.
I would in a heartbeat.
Come over here. Come here.
We got a 6th round pick. Yeah.
Let's talk about what
maybe we should go trade for Russell Wilson. He would do better than Will.
So yeah, I think when you look at this game, I think all those defensive issues, Baker Mayfield, he's had a resurgence, great, but I just think the Lions are going to be way too much. I think it's probably going to be something like maybe 34-17. Something like that. But I think some of those points are going to come late for the Buccaneers, because they don't give up. Mike Evans, I thought he might be kind of on the tail end, and he still is, doing well. Trevor, do you have a score? You think the Lions are going to win here, though?
No. I think Detroit finds a way to win. I would not be shocked if the Buccaneers walk out of this with a win. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything like. I think they're better than everyone says, but you're right. 7th letter, the injuries matter. They're at home though, right? So
no, they come into Detroit.
Oh, okay.
They come into
okay. So I'll say Detroit wins. But I think I would take the Bucs in the way to cover like the spread.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's gonna be. I don't understand. Like, do you guys think every game's gonna be a blowout? Like, because. You picked 17-17 against for the Packers one, so I can't say that. But, I'm just saying, I think it's going to be closer. I think it's going to be one of those – it's going to be a hard-fought game, and the Lions are going to figure out a way to win.
I think so, too. I think it'll be 24-17.
Okay.
There you go.
See, I guess we're saying the Lions 17-0, baby.
I like the Lions. I like watching them.
They're 13-4, man.
They're fun to watch.
They are fun to watch. Speaking of another team that's fun to watch, my Chicago Bears, they do face week 2 at the Texans, -6.5. Everybody's putting love on those Texans. And I'd say, hey, my Bears, here comes Caleb. Here comes that defense right up on CJ Stroud. At Mixon, what did he have? How many yards? He went like
150, 30 touches.
Okay. So that's a key. I think I'm a little worried about that. Obviously, we did, especially early on, if they can run on my Bears and really get the game out of reach and kind of make Caleb be the one to have to try to beat us, match offensively, that might be a little difficult. But here's what I love about Caleb. He rises to the challenge, right? He's taken everything he learned from week 1 and week 2. Some of these players, they look at some of these matchups, CJ Stroud, and just rise to the occasion. I see, week 2. I'm not going to say he's going to have a 300-yard passing game, but I'm going to go out on a limb in week 2 and say Caleb Williams will throw for at least 100 yards in this game.
Wow. Whoa.
Yards.
Stop the presses.
You can book it. So -6.5. I'll give my score in a little bit, but 7th letter, when you look at this game, do you think the Bears have a chance versus the suddenly mighty Houston Texans?
Yeah, I think I have a chance. I got a pretty good defense. I think y'all match up well with their receivers. I'm not a Diggs guy, but those other two is a handful. But also, I think Caleb Williams, this is a chance for him to have a good game because outside of Stringley, they corners are kind of bummy too. You know what I'm saying? Even although Anthony Richardson he was 9 for 19, he still had a quarterback rating over 100. So he played, when he did complete a pass, it was a good one. So I think that they can have some success against that bum secondary over there for the Texans. So Caleb Williams will definitely have over 100 yards passing this week.
Thank you, sir.
Check that one off the list.
Thank you, sir.
But I do think
but he's not mid. He's left.
No. He's a little bit less than mid now. But he should be there.
He's year 1. Jordan Love was year 4. I remember just saying.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yes. I don't hear that often, but I am.
Why aren't the Bears letting Caleb just watch? Because they have garbage for.
They had
nobody to go behind.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. We could have Malik Willis.
I agree. Okay, but Andy. Okay,
yeah.
So we wanted to talk about the injury report.
Yes.
For the last game, who is Caleb gonna throw to? Because I'm telling you, our boy Keenan Allen, the guy targeted him. Like he didn't even barely look at DJ Moore. You don't have a Dunez. They did not practice for Allen both days. Dude, is he gonna practice tomorrow? Is he gonna be limited? Is he gonna come in? Is he gonna play? Like you went from 3 really good wide receivers to right now you have 1 healthy one.
So yeah, and it's a great question. Obviously, I think Keenan Allen does play. And here's the thing: when you look at targeting DJ Moore, a lot of it's gameplay, right? And I think they're going to do a lot more of the quick hitters to DJ Moore and get him going. They really need to get DeAndre Swift, I think, going as well. I think that's going to be huge. But hey, this is going to be a Cole Kmet game. It really is, and people forgot about Cole Kmet. People in one of my fantasy league, started dropping Cole Kmet. And what are you doing? Stop dropping Cole Kmet. He's the real deal.
Did you pick him up?
You better believe I did. Oh yeah,
let's go.
Took him. Yeah,
I was going to say he ain't that good if you ain't pick him up.
Thanks, Joseph. Hey, so this can be a Cole Kmet game. When you look at the Bears, it's going to be tough, right? Overall, the Texans do have they're further along. They do have more talent. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to pick the Texans to win. But I think it's going to be like a 24 to 17 game. That both defenses are going to keep it close. 24-17. Obviously, Bears are going to lose this game. But Caleb Williams is going to take a step up. And hey, I said 100 yards. Let's up it. I'm going to say that Caleb Williams has 242 passing yards and 1 touchdown this week. So that's what I'm going to say.
I think he's gonna piss you off this week because I think he's gonna because y'all don't have no offensive line. I think they get a good pass rush on you, and he's gonna make a couple mistakes that's gonna rock your world. Like, why would you do that?
I'm not there yet. That it would rock my world. It's week 2, right? Yeah. And this is a game.
You turned on Netflix last week.
That was versus the Titans. Okay, week 1 versus the Titans.
Yeah. You think it's bad against the Titans, bro? This is the Texans. You're gonna need to watch Prime. Do you have Crave? You got Disney Plus on the road. Paramount Plus. What's on there?
This is the Texans. No one expects the Bears to win this.
That's true.
No one expects it. So I can temper my expectations. I want to see Caleb Williams get those 242 yards passing and see some more continued steps. We're 1-1. I'm still after week 2. I'm still feeling good about my team. Going into week 3. Hey, what happens? We shock the world. We're 2-0. I mean,
wouldn't that be crazy?
Hey, I think y'all gonna win.
Oh,
what?
Okay. 7.
I don't believe in the Texans. I don't believe in the Texans.
Why not?
I just don't. I don't think they defense good enough.
Oh, okay.
Oh, don't they have? Here's the thing, though. Their head coach is defensive stud, and okay.
So is the Jets coach.
So is who?
Come on, man, that matters.
So is the Jets coach.
Yeah, but it's the 49ers, bro.
Yeah. What I'm saying, I just don't. I think y'all match up really well with them defensively. I remember what the Ravens made them look like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember what the Ravens made him look like. I always said, Eberflus is a terrible head coach, but he's a damn good defensive coordinator. He was for the Colts, and he is for y'all. He won. And Eberflus defense won that game last week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Ted Washington, whoever your defensive coordinator is, like they won that game last week. The offense didn't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they can. I don't think that he'll make the same mistakes as Will Levis. I'm not gonna go there. But I know that the Ravens made him look pretty pedestrian, and good defenses make Stroud look normal. Mm-hmm. And I think that you guys have the cornerbacks that won't give him those windows that he loves.
Yes.
And I think that you guys can really, really rattle him. Your defense is better than the Texans. The Texans got a lot and Diggs is you know him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're not a Diggs fan.
Like CJ Stroud got this false confidence to me. Like, it's not a real confidence. He looked confident. He talked confident, but he just it's his face, man. I don't know, something about his face. I don't believe it.
This is the kind of in-depth content that everybody needs.
Oh, that's serious.
CJ, I know, but it's so hilarious because he's like, man, they don't have an O-line. Look at the injury report. This guy's gone. This guy's gone. But his face, it's his face, man.
He's got a. Are you saying he has a punchable face?
Yeah. So does Caleb Williams. Very punchable. Very punchable face. Punchable face. Tears nails off. All that, like, that shit is crazy to me. But
Texans still.
I think you match up very well with the Texans.
Texans still do have Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter. That worries me a little bit with my offensive line.
Y'all like him. I don't know why y'all like him. You know you can run on his side too, right?
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
We done kicked his ass for his whole career. So ain't nobody scared of him. It was the other one I was worried about.
So all this talk
crazy.
Are you picking the Bears to win officially?
I'm picking the Bears to win. I'm gonna be the other guy. I'm gonna pick the Bears to win in a close one. And then the Caleb Williams glazing will begin. He's the one. Yeah. It's gonna begin. Watch.
Neo. He's Neo. He is.
I ain't going there. But it's the lights. I don't know. It's something about like big names, big players. They kind of play better when the stage is a little larger, a bit larger. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he takes me as one of those guys that has a lot of confidence and pride in his game. And
I'm going to be insufferable.
Wipe it off his face on Thanksgiving before I eat. You know what I mean?
If he gets, around my 242 yards and a win versus CJ Stroud, I'm going to be insufferable next week.
Yeah. He's going to come up here with no shirt on next week. Drunk.
Yeah, absolutely. And Trevor, are you picking? Did you pick the?
Well, no. So last week I picked all of our teams to win. So the only one I was kind of leery on was my Packers trying to beat Philadelphia there. So I was wrong about that. And this week I literally have the Vikings, the Bears, the Lions all losing. This is my season-long predictions.
Okay.
And then I had the Packers winning, but I might have to flip-flop that now because I've been wrong. I thought the Green Bay Packers were going to go 12-5, right? So because they lost one already, I have to adjust everything.
Yeah.
So I just said that Detroit's going to win, but in my season predictions, I said, so I'm saying Houston's going to win this. You know what, Andy, what I like about it is that you're actually realistic and you picked the Texans because you do like the Texans. You like CJ Stroud.
I absolutely do.
And there's nothing wrong with saying that about like having an appreciation of another team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But, it's just being a realistic,
But at the end of the day, you're growing. Your team's better than they were last year.
Oh, I thought you meant me. I'm growing as a
no. I mean,
not you.
I know the real Andy, and the real Andy's not going to pick the Bears to win this game.
I wanted to, but we're just not quite there yet. So,
but you're knowing that your team's growing, that maybe it's next year that you can beat them.
Absolutely.
So I'm picking the Texans.
You pick the Texans. Hey, I can respect that. Well, hey. That's what we're all about, long rants. And, obviously, appreciate everyone joining us tonight, for our review from week 1 and week 2 previews. Absolutely, like, subscribe, hit us up on Twitter, and call us out if you think, maybe Caleb Williams just gets 241, and you say, hey, NFL Outdated Andy, you said 242. Hey, call me out. I'm good with that. So, and you can find me on NFL Outdated on Twitter, and I'm going to be active this week. I'm going to be active, and I'm going to actually, I may actually go on live at 5 o'clock, for the Sunday night game as well on another podcast, Bears podcast. So
cool.
Yep. So check out that a little live in-game response as well. So I'm excited. As we close out, Trevor, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, just follow me everywhere on RevTrevNFL. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I'd really appreciate some love on that. I'd appreciate it. I am pumping out so much content. It's insane. Like, I should stop. That's how much I'm like. It's just so much stuff.
Never stop.
So I've been really enjoying it. I do passionate, honest, realistic takes. If you like that kind of stuff, follow me. I know there's Packers fans that are mad at me right now because they're watching this and like, how come you're saying this stuff about the Packers? I'm just saying it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in Malik Willis. I'm going on record. I'd rather have Sean Clifford. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I highly doubt it.
Where can I find you, seventh letter, as we close out tonight?
On top of the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good night, y'all.
All right. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Freezin for NFC North Podcast. We'll catch you next week. Thanks again.